Hello, my name is Lloyd Chapman, and I'm the president and founder of the American Small Business League. And we'll talk to you about our press release today. Computer Reseller News 2004 story exposes 2014 SBA anti-small business policy. That's a mouthful. Here's what's happening. It's kind of complicated. 10 years ago, the small business size standard for IT value-added resellers was 100 employees for government prime contractors, but 500 for the federal government. And so the government wanted to increase the size standard for prime contractors to 500. So they proposed this policy, which I think was called Other Computer-Related Services, 541519, with a small business size standard of 500 employees. So I saw that, and I was working for a company with 30 employees, and I thought that was way too big. So I launched a national campaign, got the highest number of comments in the history of the SBA at that time opposing that policy. And I forced the SBA to drop the size standard from 500 to 150. So if you're an information technology value-added reseller in the federal marketplace using NSC code 541519, I'm the guy that got it dropped from 500 to 150. So now the SBA is trying to basically get rid of that NSC code, which I think will bankrupt most of the legitimate small businesses that are working with this NSC code. They're getting rid of the employee size standard, and they're going to say that if you do over, I think it's 27.5 million, you're no longer a small business. Well, if you're no longer a small business, that means you've got to compete with Fortune 500 firms or government contracts. So if you're an information technology value-added reseller working with prime contractor with the federal government, you need to drop what you're doing and oppose this with everything you've got. We need to send in comments. The SBA is taking public comments, I think, until November 10th. You need to get every employee and every family member of every employer and everybody you know to send a comment in opposing this. The American Small Business League, by the way, our legal team is working to file an injunction to stop it. But we can't do that until after they adopt what's called the final rule, which is going to be probably a couple of months from now. So I'm very happy that I actually found these old stories from Computer Reseller News from 2003, 2004, talking about my campaign to drop the size standard from 500 to 150. I don't think people would have believed me if I just told them that. But luckily, I've got it documented in these stories in Computer Reseller News from 10 years ago. So join with the American Small Business League. Help us stop the SBA from adopting what I call an anti-small business policy that I say is going to bankrupt thousands of legitimate small businesses in the IT industry that work in the federal marketplace. Help us stop them. And we have an email, and I think it's SBA comments at asbl.com. And if you're going to send a comment to the SBA, send us a copy, because quite frankly, the SBA has been dishonest in the last few years. And if 1,000 people send comments opposing it, they might say they only received 10. But if you'll send a copy to the ASBL, then we can keep a track of it. We'll keep the SBA honest. So help us stop this. I'm Lloyd Chapman, president and founder of the American Small Business League, and thank you very much.